The NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's hooking up new customers. Play just $5. Get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code NBA SGPN. Yes, sir. We are back with another edition of the NBA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. No, me, not the voice of the guy. It's me, really real, Terrell Furman Jr. here at your service. We started the day with just, the greatest tech advice that Scott could ever give me.
Yeah.
Turn
Just
it off.
turn the computer off, turn it back on. That's it. It's the only thing you need.
So I came into the browser. My camera was disabled. I was like, yo, what's up? Camera's disabled. Scott's like, yo, what's up? Your camera's disabled. And I'm like, I don't know. It just says I can't get to it. And we're sitting there and we're talking about it. Scott's like, well, turn it off, turn it back on. I was like, yeah, I was thinking that. And I did.
And it works. Yeah, there we go. That's it.
Immediately. Like I came right back and it was immediate. So now we have just ruined, the show because we could have not had my face on the screen. And now we do because Scott gave me the greatest tech advice. And it made me think, what were people doing before they knew to turn it off and turn it back on? So it wasn't working. Did you just slap the monitor, hitting the screen, beating on it? Like start working, and then you unplug it, you carry it all the way to the tech store, and the guy plugs it in, and it works perfectly fine.
Either that, or you call the tech support guy who does disconnect it and reconnect it, and then you just paid him like $80 to disconnect and reconnect your computer. So it's one of the two.
Oh, very. I think we triggered some folks actually that are listening with some horrible memories of what early 2000s tech support.
I mean, my initial
1990s,
I think Windows 99.
tech support.
Windows 99 is my first thoughts for actual home computer stuff.
Oh, dude, I remember AOL dial-up, and it was the worst because like, hey, get off the phone, I need to get on the computer, or hey, get off the computer, I need to use the phone. And if somebody was on the computer and you picked up that phone and you heard that terrible, annoying, screeching sound, that should be what we wake up our alarm to. Like that should be our alarm when we wake up in the morning. That the AOL dial-up sound, absolutely horrible.
I remember what it sounds like. I also remember the email shouting, "You've got mail." I remember all this stuff. Yeah.
Oh man, memories.
Long time ago.
Memories, yeah, it was a long time ago.
I played so many backyard sports games on the Windows 99. Played so many
backyard sports was actually on. Wow, that is a crazy unlocked memory there. All right, if you didn't know who I've been talking to this entire time, that's Scott Studio Reichel. Scott, what's going on?
Scotty, beat me up.
Surprise.
Yeah. Overall, can't complain. Hit my lock yesterday. I had Drummond on his double-double, and that got there. Wasn't easy, but Drummond, of course, got the rebounds, just needed the points, and he got there. So nice win for the lock. For the dog, I had Denver to score 100 points in the first three quarters, and they scored 97. So not fun there. Close was plus 190, had a shot there, but didn't get there. Other than that, though, I had one brutal beat in basketball. I had Cockbrenner for the Hornets. I had his double-double at plus 450.
Damn.
He had 10 points and 9 rebounds with 9:55 left in the third quarter.
Oh, no way.
And he finished with 10 points and 9 rebounds. Yeah, he did not get another rebound or point for the rest of the game. So, yeah, that was not fun. Cockbrenner, 10 and 9 with 9:55 left in the third quarter, and he finished with 10 and 9. Not fun. So, yeah, that's how I lost my double-double play for that. But whatever. I mean, Drummond got there, but what an annoying loss for me. Plus 452. Those are very good odds. All worth nothing. So, yeah, that was my bad beat of the day.
Also annoying loss for the Charlotte Hornets, who caught the Pacers getting a little bit healthier and actually looking like a competent team. A lot went on Knicks just went to absolute war with the Mavericks.
That team might be really bad on the road, but a win's a win.
Yeah, it is. I guess it is what it is. Uh, Bulls, Blazers. I said it. This Bulls team. This is what's going to happen. This is the Bulls. They are going to be good, and then they're going to go on a downswing because they realize, oh wait, we're too good. They're going to become 500, and then they're going to go back up, and they're going to start playing good basketball and beating good teams again. Back-to-back wins against the Nuggets and the Blazers on the road.
Yeah. Also a bit weird for Chicago because Vucevic, I swear I could not remember a single clutch shot he's ever made in his entire career. And now he has like 7 of them in the first 30 games of the season. I don't know what's happening with Vucevic, but he's been just absolutely clutch in a bunch of these games. And I actually caught the ending of it. I mean, they blew a massive lead. They came back. Then he had a triple-double, and it didn't matter. Nice game winner from Vucevic.
Yep. All right. Let's see here. Before we get into the slate that is actually being played today, it's the holidays, so gear up for them at the SGPN merch store. We've got 25% off if you use that promo code HOLIDAY. You can go tap in, get all your gears, stocking stuffers, all of that over there in the merch store. Some shorts, hoodies, Refs of Terrors going platinum around here, so make sure you go get that. And I wouldn't be surprised if, Mavericks fans were talking about the Refs of Terrors hoodie after. I mean, I'm not mad, but like
I know you're not
understand if
mad
you'd
as
be
a Knicks
mad.
fan. I am going to say, even though the refs might have sabotaged your bets there, at the end of the day, being a ref is one of the hardest jobs in sports because no matter what you call, half the people hate you
Oh yeah,
because
for
they have
sure.
their own actual, I'd say, motivations and personal opinions about the matter. I thought it was clearly an offensive foul. It's tough to hook a guy more than what Williams did going to the rim.
Mm-hmm.
He completely hooked Shamet, and everyone's going, how do you call this? Like, what are you supposed to do? Like, you're stuck in the last 5 seconds. Either you swallow your whistle and people get
Yeah,
mad
no,
that an offensive foul doesn't get called, or you call what would actually happen and you take over, hijack the game. It was an offensive foul. He completely hooked Shamet and got a layup out of it. I thought it was a good call. But, of course, a lot of people don't want to see games decided by officials, so they got pissed off about it.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think it was controversial? Because I thought he clearly hooked him.
So after replay, in the moment, I wouldn't have called it. After replay and all of
He
that,
scooped him.
in the moment, I wouldn't have called it. But after replay, it's clearly if somebody challenged it, after replay,
He's
it's
getting overturned. He scooped him.
Yeah. So like, I think that's how it would have been. So I think, but so really, great eye on the ref
I thought it was a good
being able to
call.
catch it real time. But like, I wouldn't have called it real time. That's just me.
Everyone else.
Maybe I would have been one of the bad refs that people were talking.
Can you believe a ref would call that? Yes, because it was a foul. Like, what are we talking about here? What's the point of them even being there if you're not going to call that? It was an offensive foul.
I feel it. I feel it.
You hate to see a game end that way, but it doesn't change the fact that it was an offensive foul. But that's my thoughts on it.
No, I get you. Slightly on the same spectrum, slightly different. All right, let's get into it. The Los Angeles Clippers. I mean, they do find ways to make me be right and wrong at the same time. But they're on the road going to play the Orlando Magic. Clippers are catching 5.5. 218.5 is the total. So 219 out there as well. Just let you know. Injury report for these two teams. And I don't even have that. There we go. All right. Injury report for these two teams. And we have for the Los Angeles Clippers, Jordan Miller's out, Kawhi Leonard's out, Bradley Beal is out for the rest of the year. I mean, first of all, go look at Bradley Beal's games played.
Mm-hmm.
Just go look at that. Just go look at Bradley Beal's games played.
It's a lot of money over those games.
Derrick Jones Jr. is also out. For Orlando, Paolo Banchero's out. Well, I mean, so the last time we were here, Scott, I think it was me and you. It might have been me and Lonte. Could have been me and Lonte. We were talking about the Clippers, and we were completely out on this team. And there was no way that after what was going on over the weekend, they had overtime game back to back, second leg of back to back. They found a way to keep it close with the Philadelphia 76ers. And they
It was
covered.
such a classic Clippers game, though, because they were up the entire game, and of course they blew the
Fluid.
game, but they still covered the spread, so nobody really was happy with the outcome for us. Because if the Clippers went outright, like, all right,
All right, you
whatever, it's
got
just a
it.
bad
Hey,
game.
you got it. We were wrong. We were
You blow a
wrong. But
double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, and you still like actually cover. That just
yeah,
sucks. Like nobody's happy about it.
yeah.
But
But it is
whatever.
what it is. So I don't think we change. I don't think we change anything up. However, quietly, the Clippers have covered 2 of their last 3.
Yep,
And
they're not winning
that is a
games, but
lot.
they're covering.
But that is a
So
lot. That's half of their covers for the year in their last 3 games. They're 4-10 ATS on the year. That's half of their covers in the last 3 games. But I say all that to say, we can't take this Clippers team. We can't. We have to continue to fade the Clippers until further notice, especially with Kawhi Leonard out.
I mean, the problem we run into for the Clippers is that Harden has to do everything for this team. It's insane how little support they've gotten him so far this season. And you figure, of course, Kawhi's been injured, which is the most expected outcome imaginable. But you figured, all right, either it's Beal at the time, Zubac. You still have a relatively deep roster. You got John Collins. You figured there'd be at least some support system in place where you can maybe allow Harden an off night and still try to find ways to win games. That just doesn't happen. Harden needs to do everything for this team, which is just ridiculous to think about. But look, there's a conversation about Orlando, which we can choose not to have. But Paolo gets hurt and they suddenly look better again, which we've talked about in the past. Look, if I'm going to mention it for Trae Young, I'll mention it for other guys. Orlando might be better off, at least from what I've seen on eye test, without Paolo in the lineup. We'll see. But I'll ask you because at first glance, I like the under. I just see an ugly game. The Clippers play slow. Offensively, they can be a bit streaky. The Magic do have good on-ball defenders who can frustrate Harden. And if Harden has an off game, I'm not sure the rest of the guys can actually score. Orlando has kind of started to get back to their defensive identity a bit more. And I do think the pace is going to be underwhelming in this game. I like the under. I see a low-scoring slugfest here. So I think this total's a bit high. But I want to point out once again, the Magic without Paolo look decent again. And we've seen this movie before. I want to point that out.
Yeah. The Magic do look decent. I think they look decent with Paolo Banchero as well. I understand the narrative that you continue to push, Scott, here, but
I'm
this
throwing
Magic,
it out there. I got to keep it consistent.
they've covered 7 of their last 10 games. Like you said, the defense is back on. They're allowing 109.4 points per game in their last 5 games. That is 4th in the NBA. Not as well for the Clippers, 18th in that same category, 118 points per game. And the Magic are going to run that blistering slow pace, 23rd in the NBA in terms of pace. And I don't think the Clippers are willing to get up and run with the teams because they feel like they have to. And they're kind of like the old man that's out there at the ballpark park, and he's like, "Oh, I can run with y'all. Don't worry about it. I can run with you." And then, a day later, 2 days later, he's really kicking himself like, "Dang, I shouldn't try to play with them young boys like that." Like, that's what it kind of feels like with the Clippers at time with their pace. Like, okay, if you're going to play fast, we'll play fast with you, even though we probably shouldn't. And if you're going to play slow, we'll play slow with you. And so I think they'll slow down with this Magic team as well. So I like the under look as well. But there's no way. I mean, there's nothing that could get me onto this Clippers team. I don't trust them. I think that it's the James Harden show. And if you take James Harden out of the game, then they effectively have nothing. And so the James Harden thing worked like 10 years ago. I don't think it's working right now. So I will not be backing this Clippers team. Again, 4-10 ATS on the season. And that's crazy because they've gotten 3 of their last 10 games. They've gotten those covers.
Yeah,
So
I might end up staying away from the side personally, but I do like the under because either way, I see a pretty low scoring pace.
no. Bad news Clippers here. Can't say the Clippers. Good on that. All right. Let's see here. What else on the docket? Before we get to that, actually, let's talk about Novig, America's #1 sports prediction market. You're getting the best prices on the market with Novig. You can get better odds. Like, hey, maybe instead of laying minus 120 at a book, you find it on Novig for minus 109, minus 110. Like you could get upgrades like that on Novig and it's regular. And plus, maybe you just don't have a traditional legal gambling state. You might be supported by Novig because Novig is available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 when you use promo code SGPN. Again, Novig, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Underdog. We only got one game down. We'll do Underdog lineup at the end. But hey, Underdog's got a brand new offer for our customers. New customers can play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code NBASGPN. Get over there and play that fantasy pick'em where you can win up to 5,000 times your entry. Lock in with with Underdog. Underdog. Promo code NBASGPN. All right. Where are we at? Next game on the docket. Let's talk about the 8 o'clock slate here. The Memphis Grizzlies back at home, welcoming the Sacramento Kings. I think I have neglected this for a good part of the season, Scott. But I mean, there's no better time than the present to make sure that we get this going. Because what's this? 15? We're like 15 games in.
These
Yeah,
games
this is a good
suck,
time.
'cause you can
Yeah,
just
this is a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because these teams suck. Combined 7-23.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Shout out, by the way, to my other double bad beat the other day. I had Zach Edey double at around 2-1, and
About that.
this guy's 7-3, scored 0 points in the entire second half. 0. Can't score a single point in the second half. Finishes with 8 and 11. Yeah, that's how my doubles have gone for me lately. So yeah, Edey didn't do me any favors yesterday, or 2 days ago. But did you watch any of that game? Because that was the TV game on NBC, which nobody wanted to watch.
No,
Damn, the Grizzlies are horrible.
No, I actually boycotted and watched something else.
I was watching it solely for the Edey double. That was a really ugly game. Vince Williams, though, almost had a triple-double, so good for him. But the Grizzlies are just a really bad basketball team. Really
All
bad.
right. Injury report. And we've got, nothing from the Sacramento Kings because they're playing this toilet bowl on the second leg of a back-to-back. And we have Jaren Jackson Jr., doubtful. John Morant, out. Javon Small, out. Ty Jerome, out. Scottie Pippen Jr., out. Brandon Clark, out. I mean, it's Memphis basketball. That's what Memphis does. Somehow Memphis is laying 2.5 here. I mean, I don't have anything good to say about either team.
The only thing I'll say about Sacramento, I know that this team is not any good. At least Sabonis didn't play yesterday in expectation for him playing this game because they were playing a back-to-back. So it does seem like the Kings intentionally punted the game against OKC because why bother? We're not going to win anyway. And since Sabonis, you might play tonight. So at least Sabonis might come back for this game. That's the only positive thing I can say.
Let's read off the last 5 games for the Sacramento Kings. There's that 113-99 barn burner with OKC that they actually covered the game, Scott.
Yeah.
Before that, 123-110 to the San Antonio Spurs without Wemby, I'm pretty sure. 124-110 to the Minnesota Timberwolves. 133-100 to the Atlanta Hawks at home. And 122-108 to the Denver Nuggets. They've been getting destroyed.
I mean, it's what happens when you talk about two bad teams. You can make cases against both of them because they're both horrible at basketball. But I'll ask you this, though, because when I was watching the Grizzlies implode again in the final 4 minutes against San Antonio, and I get they fired Taylor Jenkins and they brought in this European coach who has not worked out. Is he a bottom 3 coach in the league? Because I think he's atrocious.
Am I just like, how many The hit rate on European coaches is not good
It's not
in
as
the
good as it should
NBA.
be.
It's not good. Like it's a horrible hit rate. Why is that? Why are we? Who said that this should be? We continue to do this. They have been funneling through the European head coaches for years, trying to find a good number that work, and they typically don't.
Yeah, I mean, of course, most people think about Blatt and how he did make the finals. He got fired anyway, then ended up never getting a coaching job again. I will point out that if you want to count Darko from the Raptors as an international guy, he has been an assistant coach in the States for about 10 years. So I don't know if
So,
that
I
actually
don't know.
counts
Yeah,
as
like
much,
he
but
at that point, he's. I
at
don't
that
know.
point,
I don't know.
you're kind of just
I don't know.
domestically grown at that point.
Whatever.
You're accustomed to the NBA life. But
Both
look, I'm
teams
just gonna
suck.
say it. Like, I think he's an abysmal head coach. And I get he might have been good in Europe, and I understand that European basketball, EuroLeague stuff is different than the NBA. But from everything I've seen from the last couple of months, last year, and from this year, I don't think he can coach at an NBA level. Well, Doug Christie might not be a good coach, but I actually like Doug Christie more than the Grizzlies guy. Do we agree on that? Do the Kings actually have a coaching advantage in this game? Because I think they might have one of the worst coaches in the entire league. Is that a fair statement?
No, yeah, I think the Kings got a coaching advantage. I think the Kings just got an everything advantage. They're talking about it in the chat, and they're like, JT's like, what are the Grizzlies good at? Not many things. I mean, neither one of these two teams are good at many things, but like, I mean,
I mean, even if you don't like
yeah,
Jaren Jackson Jr., at least he's their main scorer, which is also a reason why the team sucks. He's doubtful for this game. He sprained his ankle, so yeah, I like Coward. I think Coward's a good player. I don't really want to see more Sandy Aldama, but we're going to get it tonight because Jackson's not going to play. Edie can rebound, but like this team's not good. I don't like their coach. The rotations are a mess. At least the Kings can score the ball. They're not a good team, but at least they can put the ball in the basket.
and
It's
I
not
mean, like, come on, like at the end of the day, y'all some vets. Like, y'all are the vets. Y'all are the vets. Like, y'all been getting your ass kicked for the better part of a week.
Yep.
Game after game after game after game after game. You have been getting your ass kicked. You fucking suck. And all of I mean, there's all-stars, there's an MVP on the side. Like, all of you have this type of pedigree about you, and you're telling me that you can't go on the road and beat Jalen Wells, Coward, who's a fucking rookie, and Zach Edey?
It's a
Like,
mess.
it's give me the
It's also
Kings.
not entirely their fault because half the team got injured, as always, before the season started. You had no Brandon Clark. You signed Jerome for money, and Jerome hasn't played a game yet. Jerome would be massive for this team, just
Yes.
for example, but this is what the Grizzlies do. They have
Yeah.
a lot of talent, and everyone gets hurt, and you're using a bunch of random guys instead. But I think the coaching is abysmal. At least Taylor Jenkins could give you good minutes and good effort on a regular basis. I don't know what the new guy's done since he's gotten there. At least I know what I'm getting. Christie's called out his team.
Yeah.
It hasn't worked because the team stinks. But at least he's trying to do something. The
Like,
other guy hasn't done anything.
You all have to have some fucking pride about yourselves to call yourself former all-star MVP, whatever the fuck. Like, you got to have some pride. I'm sorry, I'm really, really pissed about this Kings. I hate the Kings, by the way. Give me the Kings plus
both teams are a
2.5.
mess, but if Sabonis plays, at least they have a size matchup against Edey.
Yeah.
And they can at least generate some offense. They got some options. Levine can shoot. DeRozan can shoot. At least I know the hierarchy of shots. I don't know what the Grizzlies are going to do for this game, but I don't really want to know. So I'll go for the Kings in this one.
And it's so frustrating also because the Kings also like just can't put the ball in the basket.
No, they can't.
With that being said, I'm still taking the over. So I'm just contradicting everything I know about this Kings team this season with this game. But like, you guys got to have some pride going and play and looking at the Memphis team on the other side and letting them beat you tonight, especially when Memphis is favored and they're calling you a dog. Oh, come on. Like, Kings plus 2.5. I like the over, but
Well, you always say
horrible toilet bowl.
toilet bowl principles take the
Yeah.
dog. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to ignore the total because I watched the Grizzlies against the Spurs, and that was a G League game for about 2.5 quarters. It was awful. It was such a terrible basketball game. I think it was the lowest scoring first half of the entire season. It was a mess.
Yeah.
So I'll ignore the over in this game, but I do like the Kings. I might not bet it, but the Grizzlies should not be laying 2.5 to anybody, especially with no Triple J. Even if you don't like Triple J. He's still the best scorer on this team. So I can't. Give me Sacramento.
All right. 76ers on the road going to play the Milwaukee Bucks.
This game looks so much better a week and a half ago.
Yeah. Sixers laying 2.5, 224.5 is total. That total is plummeted. Philly hasn't submitted an injury report yet because they played yesterday. Giannis is out for the Bucks. Torian Prince is out. Kevin Porter Jr. is out. All right.
We saw the Sixers play yesterday. They lost to the Raptors. I like Toronto in that game.
Yeah,
I
shout out to
I
Toronto.
disagreed. I think Toronto's good. Separate story. I like Toronto, but look, the Sixers, it's the Maxey show. I mean, you got Maxey and you got Edgecombe, mostly Maxey, if we're being honest. If he has an off night, they're screwed. And if he drops 30 and change, they're probably winning. That's kind of how the team goes. Drummond's been great. I know Embiid might play in this game. I don't know how long, but we'll see if Embiid's back in the lineup. I know Oubre's out indefinitely. They got McCain back coming off the bench. But, I mean, I'll ask you, do you like this Philly team? Because it really feels like Maxey, a little bit of Edgecombe, and the rest is just prayers of hoping other guys step up. Isn't that what it kind of feels like with this team?
Yeah, but like they still been pretty solid ATS. They went and lost 3 straight, and I think this is like the little setback, but they were really, really good before that. Still sitting there, lost 3 straight ATS, and they're still sitting there at 9-4-1 on the season. And this Bucks team actually really hasn't been good as of late. 2-8 against the spread in their last 10 games. Haven't looked good. Or even if they were competitive early on in the game, they blew it. Like they found a way to be competitive at one point in that Cavs game and then just completely blew that and let it be the Donovan Mitchell show late and just carry them. You know, a very underwhelming Cavs team right now to a win. They haven't been good in any aspect of the game. They're horrible in the first half, horrible for the game. I don't know what I could do to get behind this Bucks team right now. Like the Bucks just do not look good right now, and Giannis is out. Whereas with the 76ers, I at least know, one, they go out there, they compete. Yes, they might have underwhelmed in the past 3 games, but they still were able to come back and get that win against that bad Clippers team. At the end of the day, that's all I basically need here. I just need a win. So, yeah, I'll take 76ers.
Yeah, I wanted to quickly look up what the Sixers' numbers were this season on a back-to-back because they're not the oldest team in the world. I know Paul George has been sitting games. We'll see if he plays tonight because I know that he ended up sitting the game yesterday. So that would, in theory, put him in a good spot to play in this game. Then again, I don't know if Paul George playing is good or bad for this team. Separate point, but either way, we should see him back in the lineup. So far this season, they've played 2 back-to-backs. They beat the Wizards in overtime. In a game they should have lost. They were down a ton in that game. And they lost to the Pistons at home by 3, which aged well because the Pistons, we know, are an absolute machine. So they should be 0-2 on back-to-backs. They were able to beat the Wizards there, but not an impressive showing at all so far. What I do know is that the Bucks in general, being shorthanded, I agree with Luis. I was about to say it. The line looks disgusting. This looks like an extremely trappy line. Because you're wondering, with Paul George coming back, with Embiid coming back, you have no Giannis, why is it only 2.5? And I
why is it only 2.5? Okay. Oh, wow. I didn't think of that point. Okay.
I thought the line would be higher because you're getting if we don't like Paul George and Embiid at the stage in their careers, the market still gives them some respect, and 2.5 feels pretty short. I mentioned this with the Knicks game yesterday. I was shocked the line was 5.5 or 6.5. Then the line went up to 8.5 when Brunson got ruled active. But at the time, I thought the line was pretty trappy. We know Doc Rivers does thrive in the underdog, nobody believes in us game. Revenge game for Doc Rivers, ? I'll go for Milwaukee at home in this game, actually. The Sixers, I still think, are too Maxey reliant, which makes sense, of course. But we know Embiid, we'll see how he looks. Paul George was awful in his first game back. I'll go with Milwaukee at home. I think Milwaukee has a decent home court environment. I think
Wow.
the line looks very short for a reason. I think the Sixers look a bit trappy. I'll go for
Wow.
Milwaukee in this game.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not think we were going to disagree
I
here.
am not a Doc Rivers guy, but Doc Rivers in these spots, missing star players, helping random bench guys step up, tends to be his best spot. I'll take Doc Rivers.
Oh. All right. I did not expect us to disagree here. And they lost to the Pistons and the Raptors.
Like, you
No,
hear
this
Paul
I'm
George
not.
and Embiid
They've
are
only
active.
lost to the Pistons and the Raptors. These couple. Yeah, no. All right.
No, but I'm
I
saying, like, if you
don't
hear
see it.
Embiid and Paul George are going to be active, don't you assume the line's going to be at least 4.5 or 5.5 or something?
Well, I have no faith for Joel Embiid personally.
That's fine, but based on the market, they're
I
getting
have no.
reinforcements
So
back.
is it? Are we saying they have a great chance of being active? Let me look up and
Paul George
just to
will
update
play
it.
because he didn't play the last game intentionally, so he will play. Embiid, I think, should play, but we'll see. And that's kind of the thing with Embiid is I actually like how Drummond's played. I don't know if I actually like having less Drummond minutes. Drummond's been fantastic for the last week. He had 4 straight double-doubles.
I actually don't like the 76ers as much if Joel Embiid and Paul George both play. But I'm gonna hope and trust in the fact of one of these two is probably gonna mess this up and not play, and we'll be fine. So give me the 76ers. Very shocked that you're on the Bucks here. The Bucks have been playing horribly.
I think the line's trappy, but the Sixers haven't played well either. Like, watching them play, Maxi's extremely talented. I get it. It feels like the Nick Nurse offense is get the ball to Maxey, everyone else get out of the way.
Yeah, but they
And
keep covering doing it.
they didn't cover against the Clippers. They won the game, massive fourth
All
quarter
right, I
run.
know.
But
So okay, they messed up. I get it. They messed up against the Clippers. Very very horrible. But they came back and won. Then they played Detroit. Detroit's a buzzsaw right now.
yeah, Detroit's very good.
So understood. And they played the Raptors, who are also a buzzsaw right now. So like,
I get it. I just think the line's trappy and it's kind of scaring me off. I'll take Milwaukee.
all right,
Feels like they're daring me to take Philly with this number, and I just don't
I'm
want to
really
do it.
shocked because I'm considering locking up the 76ers.
That's fine.
So,
I'm just going to stay away personally. I thought most of the games today were not very enticing to me. Spoiler, but I'll go for Milwaukee.
224.5 is total. I thought.
I'll go over. I don't know how great I feel about it, but I'll go over. Whatever.
No, Philly wins an ugly game. I'll go under. All right. We got one more game. Before we get to that game, though, gotta talk to the people about rhythm. Cooking up the Rhythm Labs, see what they got going on in there. Also, just make sure you know you can get weekly cash prizes in Rhythm. All you got to do is track 5 bets of the same type and model. Then, hey, you got a chance to win $1,000 just like that. Make sure you lock in, tap in, check in over there with a Rhythm. Let's see what Rhythm has going. Oh, and look, they always have a new version ready for you in the app. All you got to do is hit restart, and it doesn't even take long. It's like 2 seconds. And then, boom, just like that, you're in the game. So, all right, let's see what we like here for. Oh, well, that game was being played yesterday. Player props. Oh, look at this. Immediately fading the Bucks. First thing here that I see is Ryan Rollins under 21.5 points. They predict him for 14.9 today, going up against that 76ers defense, which has been pretty good in the last 5 games. 7th in the NBA in points per game allowed, and they've been running a blistering slow pace. Ryan Rollins likes to pick things up a little bit, so I could see them slowing the game down, him not being able to get as many points. Rhythm likes it, sharp under for them, and they have it at a 65.2 win chance here. So, smart signal over there in Rhythm. Check them out. Make sure you use that promo code SGPN25 over there at Rhythm to get 25% off your first month. Head over there, Rhythm, promo code SGPN25. All right. Let's see here. Last game up on the docket. San Antonio Spurs at home, welcoming the Atlanta Hawks. Spurs laying 1.5. 232.5 is the total. Well, we know there's no Wemby in this game.
Mm-hmm. And no Castle.
Yeah. No Harper as well. Jordan McLaughlin is also on the injury report. For the Atlanta Hawks, Kristaps Porzingis is questionable. Zachariah Ricochet is also questionable.
I mean, Fox has done a pretty good job filling in as the alpha once Castle and Wemby got hurt. Then again, you're looking at who the Spurs have played, and it hasn't really been the best competition. I mean, they lost both games to Golden State. They beat Sacramento, and they beat Memphis. And the Memphis win by 10 was a joke. That was like a 1-point game with 3 minutes to go, and they went on a massive run to close the game out. So they haven't really beaten anybody since the two guys got hurt, but you know what? Wins are wins, and not their problem who's on the schedule. Atlanta, though, was on a heater. They lost to Detroit. And Detroit, we know right now, is the best team in the East. So, yeah, Atlanta's been good without Trey. I've mentioned it many times on the show. I'm not going to mention it again. I feel like I'm just, beating a dead horse at this point. But I'll ask you, like San Antonio has been fine lately, but facing off against the Grizzlies and Kings tells me absolutely nothing about this team. Who do you like in this game?
Atlanta has been good. And as much as I would love to punish Atlanta for losing to the Detroit Pistons,
Pistons are so good, man.
They're my Pistons.
So
come on.
Even Cade came back for that game. So you can't even make the argument that they were using the backups. Cade was in that game.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't really know. I mean, they lost to Golden State twice.
Well, because Curry had like 45 and 49. So it was just insane. But yeah.
And the Hawks deceptively good on the road. 6-3 against the spread on the road this season. Way better on the road than they are at home. Man, I think I'm probably going to be on the sidelines with this one. These two teams being very, very, very evenly matched, even in their two present states. But ultimately, what I think is going to come down to is the Atlanta Hawks have just continued to find ways to win games in the fourth quarter, like kind of get teams out of there in the second half and find ways to win games on the road at that. Like that last West Coast road trip was a really good one where I mean, they did play the bottom of the barrel a lot of that road trip. The Spurs, the Jazz, but they played the Jazz at home. Like that's a tough place to play. They were able to go get a win, dominant win there. Kings, Clippers, like they've been really, really good on the road and really, really competing. I just don't know if I want to go against that. On the other side, Spurs have been better at home than they've been on the road. They've also struggled a little bit, 3-6-1 in their last 10 games ATS. I guess I'm waiting for the injury report and I'm just seeing what's going on with Ricochet and what's going on with Porzingis. But if you're telling me I'm getting both of them in, I'm gonna just continue to play and take this Hawks team. Like Hawks seem like they've just been really, really good right now, and they're way better on the road than they are at home. And right at this point, I'm considering just taking them on the road and fading them at home.
So I'm going to ask. It's going to be a bit of a tough question, but I'll put you on the spot. Who's the best active player for this game? De'Aaron Fox or Jalen Johnson?
Jalen Johnson is playing like it.
Okay, I think I agree. So I'll take Atlanta in this game. If you want to argue both teams are pretty much identical at this point, I like Atlanta a lot from what I've seen, even with the role players. Krejci's been great. Okonkwo's been great off the bench. We'll see if Porzingis ends up playing or not, but I like what I've seen, and I'm not going to criticize them for losing to the number one seed in the Eastern Conference in a close game. They were getting blown out. I thought they might roll over, and suddenly it's a 1-point game with like 6 minutes to go. They lost anyway, but at least they pushed Detroit to the brink, which is impressive. But watching this team play, I like their supporting cast. I like how Quinn Snyder's gotten his guys going. And Jalen Johnson's been really, really good. If you think Jalen Johnson has the ability to take over this game, which I think he does, then I'm taking Atlanta. The thing that I think is going to hurt Fox in this game is the fact that you got the Dyson Daniels experience, which is not the matchup you're really happy about. I think Daniels can frustrate Fox. I do think Fox could have a solid game, but I do think Jalen Johnson's good enough to lead his team down the stretch to find a way to win. I agree. I think Jalen Johnson is a better player than De'Aaron Fox. I know Fox has been around longer. I think Jalen Johnson is absolutely nasty. I think he's a really good player. I'll take Atlanta. I think that the Spurs beating the Kings and having a war against Memphis did not tell me anything.
Yeah.
Right now, I forgot what their exact record is. 7-2 without Trey. I think they've been great. I'll go with the Hawks in this one. I think Jalen Johnson, maybe triple double, maybe not. I think he has a great game. I'll go with the Hawks to get the job done.
Yeah, and I really can't even trust the win against the Bulls for the Spurs because they just caught the Bulls when they were trying to get to 500.
Yeah.
It
The
wasn't
Bulls
even
we
like,
know aren't allowed.
yeah, the Bulls were literally just trying to get to 500 so they could start winning games again.
To be fair, Wemby also had 18 points in the fourth quarter of that game, so Wemby took the game over. I don't even know if I can actually include that.
Yeah.
Because they won single-handedly because Wemby went God mode in the fourth quarter. I need to see more without Castle and Wemby. Actual talent.
Yeah.
And no offense to Memphis and Sacramento, that is not actual talent. I need to see more. At least the Hawks fought with the Pistons. So I'll go with the Hawks in this one.
Yeah, and I'm just not impressed with De'Aaron Fox consistently here. That's the only concern for here is that this is some type of a close game and De'Aaron Fox just kind of takes over a fourth quarter, but because it feels like we're kind of due for that. But
that's part of it, though, is that Fox is going to have to deal with Dyson Daniels, which is not a fun matchup. What do the Spurs do with Jalen Johnson? What's your plan? You're going to throw Harrison Barnes on the guy? Sochan off the bench? What
especially if Porzingis is able to go, like
that
Wemby was your deterrent against Porzingis. Porzingis definitely spaces the floor.
Jaren Jackson Jr. had a pretty solid game against San Antonio because they really didn't have a good matchup for him. I think Jalen Johnson's a bad matchup for San Antonio's defense. So I see a good spot for Jalen.
All right. Wow. Feeling better and better about the Hawks here. All right. Hawks plus 1.5. Maybe a little bit of wrong team favorite here. Again, the Hawks 6-3 on the road ATS this season. Total's at 232.5.
It's been going up. It was at 230.5 last night.
I think Hawks team total over is a good look for all the reasons that we said. But again, I feel a lot better when I know 100%. And this is probably me just handicapping. Porzingis is going to play in this game. Ricochet is going to be able to play in this game. They'll space the floor. They'll move the ball. It'll look good. I trust the Quinn Snyder offense, especially when Trae Young is not playing. Like, look at everybody who's thriving. Yeah, the Hawks are thriving right now. That's crazy to talk about. All right.
I've only mentioned this trend for years on the show, but I'm not going to dive down the rabbit hole again. So,
all right, I'm on over.
I'll go with you on the over. I think that the pace will be there. Atlanta's at high-scoring games. 232 against the Pistons. 232 against the Pistons. 246 against the Suns. 254 against Utah. They scored 133 against Sacramento. I mean, their offense looks great. The pace has been good. Give me the over.
All right. Let's close things out. Lock, dog, underdog lineup. Scott, lock.
I'm going
what do
first.
You like here?
All right. So for my lock, it is going to go back to the Atlanta game, but it is not going to be the Atlanta actual spread or money line for this one.
Okay.
Instead, I'm going to go with their best player to have a monster game. I watched the entire Spurs defense struggle against. I mean, Jaren Jackson Jr. had 18 points. He had a pretty monster start to the game. Then he, of course, cooled off. But I think the Jalen Johnson points are too low at 21.5. He's at 24 plus in 4 straight. And I do think that the Spurs have a tough matchup against him because he's kind of a tweener, small forward, power forward type, but he's athletic and he could shoot. I think that he's a pretty tough matchup. You got Harrison Barnes trying to guard him. If Atlanta's going to win, they probably need a great game from Jalen anyway. So I'll just skip the side element of it. Give me Jalen Johnson over 21.5 points at minus 120 as my lock for the show. I think we'll go for 24 or maybe even more than that. For my dog on the show, what did I want to go with for this one? I could go for the head-to-head angle for a guy or two, or I could go for... I mean, the issue is that the spreads are so short that it's tough to actually find an alt number for, like, anybody in this damn game. Yeah, it's going to be tough to actually come up with for a dog. Sorry, I'm going to have to actually look for a bit. You want to go?
Yep, let's go. All right. I am very much split on the locks. It is 2 favorites. Philly minus 2.5 is very enticing. Orlando minus 5.5 is equally enticing. And I feel like we got through the episode and we kind of forget. Well, I didn't forget, but you can kind of forget how much we really do like fading these Clippers team. And the Orlando Magic are actually a really good team right now. Like they are very, very solid. They have picked it up defensively. They have found the pace that they're looking for. They've all kind of bought back into the team. If they lose a game now, they lose to somebody good. They just lost to the Houston Rockets in a war where they covered the game. So, with that being said, I will take Orlando, laying 5.5 as my lock. We've gotten past the point where we are no longer betting Orlando. Orlando has turned the corner. They are good in my book. I'll take the Orlando Magic and call it a lock just to go ahead and put the icing on the cake. For my dog, I will take some form of we really talked myself into the Atlanta Hawks at the end there. So I will take some form of the Atlanta Hawks on an alt line to win this game. Let me see here. Boom. All right, I can get the Atlanta Hawks laying how much is a good number? 2.5? No, wait, wrong way. There we go. No, 4.5, 3.5, 4.5, 4.5. Hawks laying 4.5.
What did you say the price was on that?
Plus 154.
All right.
So no, this is what I will do because I do like the angle of Jalen Johnson being very good. So I will take Jalen Johnson. I hope I'm not stealing your dog, by the way, but you kicked it to me, so it's your fault.
It's all good. No.
Jalen Johnson, 20 plus points. Hawks win the game, plus 166.
All right. For my dog on the show, do I want to go for this? You know what? I actually might go for it. I like the price quite a bit. Even though I do think Milwaukee might end up winning the game, Maxey to lead the game in threes is plus 254. Really? Maxey, he just jacks up threes all the time. Sure, I'll take the volume on that. Give me Maxey to lead the Bucks games in three-pointers made, plus 254. Very random prop. But, I mean, Maxey's threes are at 3.5. Against Milwaukee in his last two games, he's made 5+. And he's attempted the last 3 games against Milwaukee, 10 threes, 15 threes, 9 threes. That's a lot of volume for me. Once again, Maxey to lead the game in threes, plus 254.
All right. Underdog. What are we doing?
Do you want to go for Jalen Johnson stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you could tie it all in a bow.
Yeah, we can. I might toss the assists out, though. I don't mind going for PR on this one.
Okay.
We'll switch it up.
Yeah, the Spurs team is undersized now.
Yeah.
31.5 PR higher. Let's see here. What else do we like?
I am actually surprised that Maxey threes are only at 3.5. That does kind of surprise me. He's had at least 9 attempts in 5 of the last 6 games. At least 9 attempts in 8 of the last 10. I find that kind of interesting. It's at 3.5.
Maybe it's because everybody's expected to be back.
Maybe, but
they're trying
the ball should still be in his hands.
Yeah, the entire time. I mean, I don't got no problem playing Maxey.
All right, we can do the threes on that.
And then what are we doing? I can go. I mean, who is slowing down Franz Wagner on his Clippers? Like, who's gonna get in front of him?
I didn't mind that. It was either going to be him or Coward from Memphis because Sacramento's defense is terrible, and Coward's actually a good basketball player.
He just gets to go out there and just hoop.
Pretty much. But Coward's points are only at 15.5, which I thought was pretty generous.
Say Wagner.
Okay, that's fine.
Get some play against the Clippers here today. All right. So that should be. Oh yeah, I didn't put the Maxey threes up here yet. Okay, Maxey threes. There we go. All right. Maxi higher. Three. That was spicy. 3.5. Three. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. We'll throw my spicy Maxi threes in there for sure. Tyrese Maxey higher, 3.5 3-pointers made. Jalen Johnson higher, 31.5 points and rebounds. And Franz Wagner higher, 23.5 points. Add it all up, shake it up, 7.68x. $100 get you $768 over there. Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use that promo code NBA SGP. And Scott, anything else for people before we get up out of here?
Not really. Interesting NBA card. We'll see how it goes. But either way, I'll be back tomorrow from Florida. So there you go.
What a flex, Scott. What are you going to Florida for?
My friend's in a poker tournament. So I'll be there for support and I'll be gambling.
Yes, but not gambling in the tournament.
No, I'll be playing poker on the side.
Oh, right. And potential winnings for said tournament.
First place is like $300K. So we'll see how my friend does.
Jesus Christ. Best of luck to your friend. Best of luck to you and getting to reap the benefits of when your friend wins. And the binge that you're about to go on being in Florida until what?
It's the weekend. I'll be binging anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah. All right. He's at Retro Radio. I'm at @reallyreal__. Make sure you give us a follow at SGPN NBA on X, NBA Gambling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, all of that stuff. 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcast. Just go to NBA Gambling Podcast. Give us a 5-star rating and review. Appreciate that. And with that, is it, Scott? Nothing else saying, nothing else to do. No other way of ending the podcast. Just going to